Ah, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Uh, I'm Brian, and with me is Kat, and we are doing our second Sunday morning meditation every month, and it is 9 o'clock Eastern time, and 7 o'clock Mountain time, where Kat is. And so I'm gonna do a little talk and about 5, 10 minutes, and then we're gonna have a guided meditation. And today's topic is going to be stepping into inner peace with awareness when we are lost in thought or emotion. So as we go through our daily lives, we get lost in thoughts and lost in emotion, and recognizing that is key. So So stepping into inner peace with awareness, and notice it, and stepping into it when we're lost in thought and emotion. So when we don't pause and notice that we are being carried away with thought or emotion, we lose that opportunity to drop into in stillness for that moment. And and thoughts and emotions can carry us away for can carry us away for minutes, hours, days, weeks, you know, months and even years but as practitioners we train ourselves and we drop back in often. So as soon as we stop and notice, the interesting thing is that as soon as we stop and notice that we're being carried away, when we bring awareness to the mental activity that's going on, we regain our opportunity to step in and drop in. And it's almost kind of like it's almost like a reverse mantra, you know. I'm not being very mindful right now. Just that recognition it brings us back. It brings us back. And so the thing is, though, it's all too easy to get, you know, to get let judgment or self-critical thought when we fall out of mindfulness. It's so easy to be self-critical. Like, really, I'm not. I should be better than that. I shouldn't act that way. I shouldn't have said that. I should whatever the thing is that comes up for us. But when we recognize that we drop off, that we fall off, and being unconditionally friendly with our experience, and just looking at our experience, those are wonderful moments because those are aha moments. You just drop in as soon as you recognize it, which is the most interesting thing. And like it works in your daily life, it works in sitting and sitting meditation practice. When you're practicing meditation and you find yourself drifting off into, fantasy world or planning mode, when you catch it and you say, "Oh, planning," or "I'm just drifting off in dream," if you stay friendly with yourself and just really looking at your inner experience, that is becomes a wake up moment. It's just like boom. And I've learned to really kind of really like those moments, the long as they don't get carried along too far when I'm sitting in meditation, is because as soon as I recognize it, it brings you back. It just brings you back. And it's a constant reminder to just keep coming back. But this happens in our daily life, and we live in a very busy world. It's a very polarized society, and we have a lot of change going on. There's a lot of change in our political climate, and there's just a lot of stuff going on, and so it's very easy to get carried away and with our own personal lives as well, for sure. So if whatever it is, whether it's anger, fear, dread, anxiety, worry, drifting off in fantasy, or unhealthy habitual behaviors, they can all become our go-to tendencies when we feel this anger, when we feel this, fear, when we feel this things. And but these can be an invitation for practice. It's like placing a mindful gap between the stream of activity allows us to stay, to step into stillness. Um, Viktor Frankl, um, who was a Holocaust survivor and really was the founder of the philosophy of existentialism. He said, between stimulus and response, there's a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. So between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. So, and this is our invitation to put pauses, to put gaps. And with this, yet how do we work with this when we really get carried away, when something really grips us and really takes us for a ride? You know, how do we work with that? If get carried away, say in anger or fear or dread or anxiety or sadness or whatever presents itself, when the emotion is just so strong, how do we work with that? And one of the key points I find in my practice is that whatever the emotions or things that grip us, when we look deeper into those, when we look deeply into our fear or our anger or whatever it is that's presenting itself or our sadness, when we look into it, this anger is a good example. When we really look into it, we see this, or it could be someone else's anger. When we really look into it, we see and we can see the suffering behind anger. And it's a lot easier to feel compassion and to bring compassion when we feel, the suffering. So that's one of the key points of working with dropping in is really looking deeply at what's going on, and looking at the suffering. When you see the suffering and you see our shared humanity and our shared suffering, it's a lot easier to bring compassion into that than, say, anger. And it works wonderfully in relationships too. If you get very annoyed or very frustrated or angry, when you see the suffering, compassion can drop. It's easier to feel compassion when you see the suffering of yourself or the suffering of the other person. So this whole process, I like this quote by Wayne Dyer, who says, "Peace is the result of retraining your mind to process life as it is, rather than as you think it should be." So we retrain our mind with practice, and we stop, and we practice by practice stopping, and placing gaps in our stream of thinking throughout our daily life. In Thich Nhat Hanh monasteries in Plum Village and the Plum Village traditions, and probably throughout many, many communities, spiritual communities, um, they have invitations to stop. In the Thai, which is Thich Nhat Hanh traditions, they have a bell that sounds every 15 minutes, and when that bell sounds, you stop. And so, and I think a lot about that now because we just inherited my wife's grandfather's clock from 1910 to 1924, somewhere in there, and it sounds beautiful chime every half hour, and it's we use that as a practice, and it's just really wonderful. So I'm going to close with a quote by Thich Nhat Hanh. It says, "Each moment is a chance for us to make peace with the world, to make peace possible for the world, to make happiness possible for the world." Thich Nhat Hanh. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. All right, let's come to a comfortable seated position. And as we begin, we'll listen to the sound of the bell and enter into the space of stirring up the body. So, kind of stirring the body in one direction, side to side, or in big circles. And as we enter into the body, we begin to drop in. We begin to notice the space the body takes up. There's density and weight. And if you're stirring the body now, you can come to a place that feels closer to center. And I'd like you to notice the natural movement of the body with breath. And as you notice this movement, you start to see on the inhale, the body starts to kind of gently shift forward. And on the exhale, it relaxes back. And without forcing it or without a, a lot of will, we're just watching the natural flow of the breath. The inhale rises, it engages the body in a way for the belly, the diaphragm, and the chest opening. And with this opening, there's a gentle movement. It's so subtle, but we feel it, right? We feel this wave of movement. And we're not going to exaggerate the movement very much. We're going to let it be very small. We are going to put our awareness on the movement. And as we watch this gentle movement of the body, I'd like you to bring your awareness to your seat, to how you're seated on your chair or your cushion. And your pelvis is like a bowl, right? It's like a bowl. So you're gently rocking that bowl forward. And if that bowl were to hold water, and it does hold a lot of water physically, it also holds the water of your attention. So your awareness is in your low belly, about 2 inches below the belly button, right at the top of this bowl of your pelvis. So it's inside the body, and you're just watching that gentle movement. So the belly expands on the inhale. Awareness is in the low belly, and the belly gently tilts the pelvis and that bowl back. So kind of watching that gentle, natural movement. And this can give you signals if you need to adjust so that your pelvis is a little more forward so you don't get too sleepy. So the bowl almost has a shape that's a little bit tilted down to your toes. And this gives your spine an access, an ability to be straight. And this is this ideal state of the body's position so that we can bring mindfulness to any thoughts or emotions that naturally arise. And we can come back to this place in the low belly, keep the attention there, inhaling, watching, listening, feeling, experiencing the body, and exhaling. I'd like you to bring some of this unconditional friendliness to this attention. Inhale, witnessing the rock forward. Exhale, witnessing the gentle rock backwards. And whether the pace of the breath is faster or slower, that's okay. Any pace that it does naturally. And this unconditional friendliness, this is a softness that includes some patience to listen and learn about this natural rhythm of the low belly. It begins to open your awareness into the low belly even more. As you bring your attention there and keep your attention there, notice if you feel any heat. Notice the attention on the water element because we're watching that gentle rocking of that pelvic bowl, the shape within the body, and we're witnessing. Inhale, softness. Exhale, deepen the awareness. And bring to mind the places that are softening around this belly. So the torso, the shoulders begin to relax. And you can bring the elbows in to drop the shoulders more. And there's a gentle tuck of the chin so that the jaw and the back of the palate, the back of the tongue can relax. The back of the eyes, the inner ears and sinuses, like a gentle stream, they flow down to the belly and they're just start to be enlivened by this breath. Become aware of these softened places in the upper body through the breath, inspired by this breath, that it moves like water through the body. If your awareness is like water, it starts to match the natural flow in the body. So the upper body now feels a gentle rock from the low belly. Inhale, soften the awareness on the upper body. Exhale, deepen the awareness. Notice any contrast of how the upper body feels now from when you started. And perhaps you weren't very aware when you started, or perhaps there was a strong feeling, thought, bodily sensation. Notice the contrast now. Does it feel better? Does it feel stronger? Are you bringing more awareness to it? Invite all of those experiences in, recognizing what is here, welcoming it here. Inhale, soften into that rock. Exhale, deepen awareness. Sometimes when we are in meditation, there's this, gripping or something we need to be doing. Can we begin to let the body do what it does naturally? It just breathes. It's sitting here and we're becoming aware of it, bringing our mind and our hearts back to this space, back to the low belly, bringing awareness now to the lower body, the legs to the feet to the toes. And noticing often these can feel very solid. Perhaps you need a little micro adjustment if there's any tightness in the hip or and what I find is kind of sitting forward on the seat can start to release some of that. And with awareness that is soft and listening, we we don't have to tolerate any pain, right? Some discomfort is okay, but some pain, we want to move a little bit, adjust, and come back to that softness with the inhale. Notice when the rocking forward on the inhale starts to release the sensations through the lower body that match or resonate with the upper body. So now that the whole body become a part of this experience and the whole body has a gentle pulse with the breath, with the pulse of the body, the natural heartbeat pulse. And they're not necessarily aligned, but they're two rhythms, right? This gentle rocking of breath. And we're aware of both, just like water moves in different directions, but it's in harmony with itself. So attention back to the low belly. This is in the foreground. Attention in the whole body in the background. Inhale, soften. Exhale, deepen awareness. What you're feeling now is a state of dropping in, embodiment. I'd like you to open your heart to anyone in your life, in your community, that you would like to extend this silent offering of resonance with this gentle rock, this gentle well wishing. And you can say silently to yourself, may you feel well. Bring attention foreground to the low belly as you offer this well wish. Soften. Oops. And coming back to the low belly. Noticing in the foreground as we offer these well wishes, what is the experience in the body as we offer these well wishes to someone in our close community, right? We're feeling the rock of the body, the breath of the body in this well wish, the embodiment that we experience. So that connected between our hearts and our minds, we offer, may you be well. And the natural breath as it moves, continuing attention in the foreground at the low belly. And the background is the whole body. Bring awareness now to someone in the community you don't know very well. Someone at your grocery store, at your gas station, or somewhere you go each week. And as you bring awareness to them, you begin to notice, inhale, soften, and to experience them. Exhale, deepen awareness, and offer them, may you be well. Awareness in your body, in your low belly, and your whole body as you offer this well wish to them. Notice the mind moving and bring it back. Inhale, soften into the low belly. Exhale, deepen through the whole body awareness. And these well wishes for those in your community. Offering yourself these same well wishes. May I be well. May I be well. In the foreground is the low belly, in the background is the whole body. Inhale, soften. Exhale, deepen awareness. Bring awareness now to the entire world. Inhale as you rock in the low body, the low belly. You begin to feel the whole world, the expanse of the oceans, the forests, all the people and the furry beings and the swimming beings and the flying beings. Inhale to feel the softness in the low belly as you feel the softness is of welcoming the whole world into your awareness. Exhale, deepen awareness through the whole body, the whole world. And may you be well to this entire world, everything in it, everything we see or don't see, feel or don't feel. Notice if the rock of the body becomes even more subtle. Just a very gentle pulse of breath and heartbeat. Very gentle. May you be well, everyone on this planet, every being, every life form, always. Notice your experience softening to welcome this well being for the whole world and everything in it. Notice the low belly attention, the awareness there. Notice the gentle, very subtle movement. Inhale, soften. Exhale, deepen awareness. May you be well. As we continue to build this friendliness with those in our community, with ourselves, and with our world, we come from a place of resonance, of embodiment, being in the body, aware of all of the experience of that connection that connects us through living and dying. We each will die, and we can honor each other because we are in this together. Have compassion for each other. We each have suffering. We each have embodiment. We each have a gentle pulse, a gentle breathing, the gentle rock of being alive, this rhythm back and forth. We allow the tightness to watch it change. We allow the softness to watch it change. We allow the understanding to witness how we are connected. Remember how to come back to the low belly. Remember the source of your inner truth, of your body, awareness within your body, inside your body. You can place a hand on the low belly now that we're nearing the end of this meditation. And as you place the hand there, I want you to thank your low belly for opening you to the awareness of your entire body and your connection to those in community, to yourself, and to the world. Honoring any of your guides or teachers here, place both of your hands together. And as you listen to the sound of the bell, bowing into this mudra of connection between both sides, what sometimes feels opposite or dual, we bring it into each hand and we connect it together at our hearts. And as we connect it at our hearts, we honor the teachers and guides that help to bring us here to this moment, to this awakened presence of embodiment. May you go in peace with the energy of your embodiment, with the power to connect the opposites and transcend them together. Thank you.